Welcome back to another video of Extreme Stories. We're back with another awesome video from this amazing channel. We're bringing to you, once again, some excitement. In today's video is going to be discussing about the last week of school. More importantly, the last day of school actually. Which is the day where everyone has freedom. Because from the last day of school on, you're out the door. You don't want to see or hear about school again. And I'm one of those people who would agree this year, because this year school year had not been a very good year in school, because of course it sucked. So this video I'm doing is called The History of the Last Day of School, or called The Last Day of School Remembering. Ah, nah. You know what, you just keep it as The History of the Last Day of School for me. Starting with kindergarten through 5th grade, which was elementary school. In elementary school, the first word that pops up into people's minds is, as you know of, is parties. Awesome parties. That's what we do back in elementary school. And the parties we had back in elementary school were pretty epic, because we would bring all kinds of snacks. We would play awesome games, eat some delicious food, and even the best part of it all, dance offs, where we would party to the purple with these awesome, tricks and dances that we do. And even by the time I got to 5th grade, which was my last year there at elementary school for everyone, I had this dance that I wanted to get out. Because, of course, I was going to leave a week early. So this was actually a week before last day of school, because the last day of school was not going to be there, because I was going on a trip to Lomé. So so our class decided to have a party specifically for me. And during that party, I went on and did my little dance called the Cat Daddy. I know you can laugh at it all you want, but that's the dance I used to do back in 5th grade, and people liked it. People thought it was really funny for me doing the dance, and that's something that I took with me on the trip to Lomé, and it was pretty awesome having a good memory to think about during the trip, because it was a pretty big step up for me. But that didn't stop there, because this thing kept on going into my middle school years. 6th grade. Triangle, 6th grade. So in 6th grade, at the last day of school, we had a talent show in which people could perform on stage with whatever tricks they have. And my only trick was, of course, is the Cat Daddy. So on that day, I went on stage and got ready for a big performance. And on that stage, it was pretty horrific at first, but I managed to conquer it. But being on the stage was a huge priority, because it was the only chance to show everyone who I really was. And I did a little dance on stage, and once again, people liked it. There was clapping, there was applauses, there were shouts. Everyone liked it. So I felt pretty good about myself. I felt like I was a star for once. And people remembered it even for years on. I don't know if they still remember now, but I'm pretty sure they remember that moment. Now going into 7th grade year. In 7th grade year, we didn't do anything. I mean, we did literally nothing for the last day of school, because the teachers had nothing planned. But the 8th graders overheard were dressing up for graduation that year. But the 7th graders must have took it literally, because they also dressed up as well. But I guess the school didn't allow it, because they said that we didn't have anything planned. But still, no one cared. Even I came to school in the actual school uniform, school shirt, which is actually a t-shirt. But again, my art teacher, who also saw me with the shirt, was like, "You need to go get a uniform shirt." So I ended up down in the ISS office, where I was asked to call my mom to get the shirt. But I couldn't reach her, so pretty much I was like, nah, screw it. So I just went back to class, and the teacher just gave me a look. But everyone had a good time then. And then came 8th grade year, which is the year we graduated from middle school. Well, not technically, because they said that was just a pre graduation for the real graduation in high school. So we actually just did a kind of a fake one, I guess. But it was still a pretty fun thing to do, Because on the last day of school, we get to dress up for the graduation. Like basically, what we're gonna do, what we're gonna look like for high school graduation. So I can say that this is what I'll look like 4 years from another year from now. Because next school year, I'll graduate from high school. But now going back to 8th grade, the last day of school, everyone was in a pretty good mood. But when we went to the gym for our graduation, we saw a little change here and there. Like parents who seemed really, really, really anxious to see their kids graduate. Well, some of them did get a little offhand because when someone's daughter was called, they would be like, "Hey, that's my daughter right there. Hi, how you doing? That's my daughter." Like I hear like 5 times every like 50 names, which is kind of ridiculous because that kind of makes the student feel a little embarrassed when they're getting involved and you have their parents screaming at them. So I feel bad for you if you're one of those students. But for the other ones that weren't the most memorable, I guess we didn't get that much attention, which is pretty good because we don't want to feel the embarrassment like the other 20 students felt when they got their diploma. But I just felt pretty good having people silent for me. It was just a pretty good feeling. So, and that's pretty much how 8th grade wrapped up. But we did get to leave early that last day because we graduated. We were done. And after that, now we go on the road to high school, which is ninth to well, I'm not in 12th yet. So for the sake of this video, you're just gonna say 10th. You're just gonna end at 10th. So in ninth grade, we had little experience with how school actually ended at high school because we split into 4 different grade levels when it comes to this. First, if you're in ninth grade, then you have absolutely no experience about what it is, but you're like, oh yeah, school end, whatever. But then you go to 10th grade, you're like, yeah, now I'm happy that school ended. You go into 11th grade, you really start to like school ending. But also, this is also the year I'm currently in, and I really hated this school year, not to mention it. Hated 11th grade, goodbye 11th grade. And then when you go on to 12th, you're graduated, you're done. You're happy. Every single senior is happy to be graduating. But if you're senior, just know that once you go off to college, you go back to being another lousy freshman. With the college seniors looking down at you as freshman once again. So don't be too happy because in 3 months you aren't going to be happy again. But that's the way it is. And now going to the last 2 years as a high schooler, ninth grade wasn't really that important at all because of, of course ninth grade was pretty good until the very last day. As you do remember, ninth grade with that one story about that one friend that turned me down for the text messages and stuff. It was just plain ridiculous. Because then you already know what happened from then. But that was a pretty bad summer for me. But now if we just go on to the 10th grade, skipping ninth grade to go 10th grade. 10th grade pretty much was okay year because for our exams, we actually did our exams a bit early. Like we literally did our exam in English class 3 days early, which is a pretty good idea. Just thinking about it now, because 3 days later, on the last day of school, we went to watch a movie in the auditorium. Like it was a small auditorium we went to. It was a separate one from the real one, and we went there to watch 2 great movies. And in there, it was pretty lit because the whole time everyone was having a blast in there watching movies, and we pretty much had an awesome time. So best time ever in there. And once school ended, we ran out the doors. But also, when I got towards the doors, I did notice there was a stack of papers on the ground. So the seniors must have gotten a good idea to throw papers around to saying goodbye school. And that was a pretty good ending to school, I guess, because it seemed pretty cool. And here's a proof. I got proof right here. These are the images from the actual event. And I also have a video about this on YouTube if you guys want to check it out from last year. because it was epic. So don't forget to catch that video on YouTube because it's funny. And now thinking about junior year, I wonder what surprise that the seniors have in store for junior year. I bet it'll probably be even more epic than it was last year. Maybe even more exciting. So we'll find out what happens this year. And I will upload a video about the last day of school. But in the winner of it all so far is 10th grade year for the best last day of school ever. But if this year we do see a better one, then we'll replace it with that. And that's it for today's awesome and amazing video. If you enjoyed today's awesome and amazing video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to always get updated on new videos from this awesome and amazing channel. And also, we finally have some fan art to show, as you can appear above. Thank you to these people for submitting their fan art into my channel. And if you want your fan art to be submitted into this next, then don't forget to make some fan art. Once again, thank you to the people who made this fan art. And I'll see you guys in another awesome, amazing video next time.